Welcome. So, in this lecture, I will be demonstrating how to model a desk because that will be your next assignment. After our class, of course. I think you know what I mean. So, I'm in mine right now. I've already picked out a desk, but I would recommend desk front view. Something like this. If you feel comfortable doing that. I could, if you have any further questions, I'll go over how to do drawers, things like that. I think mine has a drawer, the one I'll be modeling. But nonetheless, without further ado, I will get started here. So, I would bring in an image plane, and I'll show you how. Well, I'm going to show you the way that. There's a way to do it that I have in my own folder, reference images, so you might want to put it in your own folder under your Maya documents. So yeah, you will notice that, well, the canvas moves, but that's not all that helpful. So I'll undo that. And the way to do it is to do it in an orthographic view. And then go... And then, yes, so your front Z and your side X. Like that. That's good. And I do want to move these out. Which, if you hit X, you just bring it to the end of the canvas there. And I'll also be putting these on a layer, so that way I don't accidentally. They're a little outside of that, but yeah. So you can use X to line these up, the X key. It's pretty easy there. That's what I want, and I'll put these on their own layer. Don't say desk plane. And that way, yep, that proves they're on the layer. I'll even do that reference so they don't end up accidentally clicking on them. And now I'll begin to model this. This is a pretty simple model, from what I can tell. Yeah, I'll start with the top portion here. That's what I would recommend starting out with. So I'll create a cube, and what I want to do is X-ray it. That way I can easily select those verts. I don't have to spend time trying to figuring out if I selected what I want. That's good. And I'll just scale this out. Should I bring that down? I'm wondering if I should bring that down. And again, in perspective, it will be a little. You kind of have to use. You kind of have to eyeball it with when working in perspective like this. But I mean, as long as you have the gist of it, I think you'll be fine. Because it looks like it's a little uneven on on both sides, but yeah. I'm going to see how that looks in perspective. Speaking of which, okay. Well, I guess if I wanted, I could just do that. But I think for the sake of working, yeah, I think that's fine like that, honestly. And I'll just make sure that, yeah, I mean, I'd rather have, it's better if it's the width of your reference image. I think that's the best way to go about it. And so now what I'll do is I'll bring out the back face here. I don't have anything for the top view. You know, I could bring in an image plane on the bottom, right? On the top. That I'm gonna see how that'll work. I mean, I might have to switch this to bottom view to see it, but that's not a problem. Okay. Not what I was anticipating, but I'm going to rotate this negative 90. I mean, I'm probably going to have to do that anyway, for the sake of having it. Yeah, I don't know if you really need a bottom portion, actually. I'll just get rid of that. I was just curious. Okay, so moving on. What I'll do now is I'll bring out this. Well, then again, this being a reference, I can still kind of. I think that's a pretty good width. Or, yeah, I'd say that's good. Do I want to make it thicker? I think that's good. Yeah, I'll go with that thickness, just a little bit more than what I need. That's kind of general principle for modeling, is that you may want to make your model a little thicker than the reference, just so, you know, for the sake of rendering and texturing. That way it's not so, that way you don't have artifacting, and that way it's not so cramped. So anyway, I can talk more about that later if you want, but I'll move on to, I'm going to do the leg. I'm going to do one of the legs now. Yeah. The beauty about this model is that I only have to model one of these legs, and then I can duplicate the rest. So that's how I'm going to go about it, and I recommend you do the same thing, because, you know, for a desk, you're very likely to have duplicate pieces, and so this will have to be moved back to that, but or I can move this. Maybe I'm better off doing that if I hit 0. Yeah. What if I do? Okay. So that's fine where that is. I'll just move this up. Once again, I'm going to work in the X-ray view. Okay. Right now, I'm just worried about the width. I keep hitting that key. Hopefully, you don't have the same problem. No, I don't want to extrude. Oops. I want all of those there. Yes, all 4. I think that's pretty good. So yeah, like I said, with perspective, I mean, yes, this is a front view, but there's still perspective. It's not a straight-on front view. So you just have to use your best judgment. I feel like, should I move this down? Because it doesn't look like. Yeah, that perspective is weird on this. It looks like it's uneven on the plane, but anyway. Well, since I'm going to duplicate this anyway, I'll just do it on this side. If I had known it was crooked, I would have picked a different reference, but Yeah, it's fine, honestly. And this will be. I'll have to add edges to this to get what I want with it. I have to even round out the end here, but that's not a problem because, well, it's easy to do. Takes some time, but hey, you can't expect something to. You can't always expect instant gratification. So. And so yes, a like loop will have to add loops. I mean, if you decide to model this exact S, that's fine. But if you want to do something else, that's all right as well. I mean, as I'm just kind of demonstrating the principles, so that when I set you loose, you're ready to go. And yes, I am hitting the G key to go back to that tool. It's so useful that I mean, I think it took me a while to end up like realizing, oh, I can use that key. Took a while before I realized that, but hey, we all learn at a different pace, right? And of course, I'll have to bring this out. When I get to that point, I'll have to expand it. Because right now it's just, well, maybe not actually. Yeah, so you're gonna have to expand it this way. Well, I might scale it down a bit, but other than that, I don't think I have to do much with it. Yeah, because it is kind of, it is just kind of awkwardly wide here. But yeah, that's right now. I'm just worried about getting the everything, the verts and all that, so that they line up with the reference. Probably add an edge loop here as well. And it's funny, working on something like this, it's second nature to me. I mean, since I'm an environment, I like working on environments. And yeah, I understand if you don't get it right away, that's, at least do what you can. That's, I'd rather see that than no attempt at all. I might be able to merge these. Well, maybe that's not a good idea. I might just have to put another edge loop down here. Oops. That's not what I wanted. I wanted that. Can't merge if there's nothing to merge with, right? Yeah, that's getting there. Yeah. Alright. I mean, when you zoom in, there will be pixels, so I mean, I wouldn't necessarily worry about fitting into each and every pixel on your reference image. It just seems kind of because you can see from here that it is taking shape, and you could worry about all day. Oh, does it line up with the pixels? Well, I don't feel like that's worth the energy trying to make it that exact. I mean, then again, it is a reference, an emphasis on reference, because a lot of times you get concept art that you use a reference, but I mean, there will be areas where, you know, maybe due to the lighting, you're not exactly, or you decide to, you know, especially for assignments, and this is more so in college, I would say, where you find a reference, there's this concept art, but you wanna make some changes, you know, but the idea is still there. And that's kind of what, I mean, that's not really how I'd approach this per se, but you know, just keep in mind with references that you do have some, you know, flexibility, you know. As long as the essence of the, you know, is there, the concept art is there, then I think you know what I'm trying to say. I mean, I could go on about that, but I don't think I really need to. I tuned in to just talk about things that aren't really related. I don't know. I feel like it makes it easier for me when I model to just talk. You know, modeling and game-related stuff usually. I mean, you know, probably give you some things to think about as well. So I'm not tooting my own horn here just for the sake of it. Alright, so I'm checking this on my reference. Okay, so this is the shadow. Alright. I was just wondering what that was. It just looked kind of, because if I look here, yes, there is this. Okay, yeah, the shadow and the reflection. Considering that wood is a reflective surface, well, depending on the wood, but yeah. Alright, so I think that leg looks pretty good. Let's see. I'm going to look at it from perspective before I move on. I'm going to straighten this edge out. Or to do that, click your edge and just scale it. Okay, I needed to plug in my battery. That's what I was thinking what would happen, but hey, at least I had it at the ready. Let's probably move this more like that. I want to see how this looks in. Oh, doesn't look too bad. What I should probably do though is, well, I could add an edge above the top. Because if I do that, yeah, I'll leave that there. I'm going to scale this so it's not so wide. Where's the scale tool? Okay. Remember, you can increase and decrease the size of your tools, plus and minus. I just want to make sure this is lined up with the desk too before I move on. It looks like it is from this perspective though, yeah, from this view. I'll do that. feel a little bit better about that now. See, what I want to do is move this in. So you notice that it's a little, it's not quite there. And what threw me off is that shadow. Well, this will go like that. I'm going to fix this. I'm gonna get rid of this edge loop and just, I might not even need that. Well, I probably do, but I'm just not quite happy with that. And you kind of have to use, okay, so I think that's better. That's so crooked now. Yeah, I feel like this reference though is a bit. And again, I don't feel like it makes it. You know, I'll just leave it like this because that's the impression that is created by the reference. Yeah. So I think this, like I said, I think this reference is a bit uneven. So something to be aware of. You might run into that, but in this case, I'll delete my history and I'll save because I've been working on this for a while. And I will save this. This is an old folder, week 7 Wednesday. Wow. When was that from? I don't even know. But 2018, 2017, something like that. Anyway, I want to make sure I'm in the right folder before yeah. So 2020. I thought I had a projects folder. Oh, here it is. I could save it here. Well, I'll make a new folder and I'll say desk. So you might want to do the same thing. Make a folder and say desk. MA or MB is fine. Doesn't make a difference to me. Alright, so now I'll do this portion here. Pretty easy. I feel like the most of this model, the most complex part of it would be the legs. Which is a bit tricky because you don't have to use a reference. But still, that didn't come out too bad, I feel. I mean, now that I look at it without hovering over it with in object mode, for the most part it follows the form, so this is pretty straightforward. Basically, you think about it, it's the same kind of idea as what you did with the tabletop. And like I said, this doesn't have any drawers, but if you decide you want to do drawers, I'll try and remember to ask in class, and I can kind of guide you on that because they're not that complicated, but you know, I can give you some ideas. I'm just doing this because it's simple, and Still a bit of a challenge, you know. I would think, especially if you're, you know, new to modeling, new to Maya. I'm gonna bring this edge down a bit more. Yeah. Oh, that's perfect. It went back to those verts. That was convenient. Okay, so those are all done. Well, yes. Should I? Yeah. Actually, what I want to do is scale this. I want to bring this face in so that it lines up with my. Let's see. It looks like it goes in quite a bit in comparison to, like, yeah. That's where you would sit. You know, for your something like that, maybe a little more. And I can imagine that this does not, this back piece, I can imagine that it lines up right with the leg. Which you can do it this way, and I think you can also snap to the vert on that guy. Oh, that only works. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was thinking, I don't know if that'll work when you're moving verts, actually, but, you know, that's fine. Alright, so now I'll do my duplication. Yeah, that looks like it'll stand up fairly well. So you might notice while I'm duplicating it, and there is a way, modify freeze transform. And this should work. Yeah. So what I did where, I'll redo that for you in case you didn't get it. Actually, I might not need to do that at all. So that's my duplicate piece there. In order to reverse that so that on the other side it is how it should be, scale -1. Yeah. That's good. I would say that's pretty good, yeah. So then same thing here. Well, this would be in the z-axis actually when I duplicate it. But actually in this case I don't even have to, I don't even have to do the negative trick there that I just showed you. I can just oh. I'll move that. Yeah, not much of a movement there. There is a way to do duplicate special on this actually. I could try that. Where is that? Duplicate special. I have to search for it because I don't remember. Okay, so edit duplicate special. Yes. that. I'm gonna turn these off. And this should be... yeah, this might not be working the way I thought it would. You know what? Mirror. Mirror options. Mesh mirror. And that would be in the x-axis. See? That's actually the best way to do this, is that all I did was apply. I'm gonna try it with this too, because I wanna see if I can just, and it should be, yeah. So I recommend doing that because it's quick. You do the long way, but you know, why would you want to? See? Or even if I'm just doing this, right? I can say, well, I want to mirror this in the z-axis. Well, that might not work that way, but you get the idea. So, I want to try it with this though. In this case, maybe I'm better just copying this. Okay, so never mind that. It's not working out the way I want it to. I'll just duplicate it. I mean, it's not that hard to figure out where I need to put it anyway, so. And for these side pieces, I mean, honestly, you could just use one of these and make a smaller piece. Because I suspect that there would be side pieces here. I'm going to rotate it. I'm almost done with this model. Which is awesome. And it's not that long of an assignment, but you know, it is part of a bigger, it is the first part of an assignment, I'll say that much. So you'll likely be modeling a chair with this, which I'll demonstrate that, of course. So no worries there. I do want to fix that face in a minute, but I'm gonna move this back a little bit. If I, oops. I'll scale it. Okay, I'll go with that. And because I think I could probably mirror this. I need to change this to world, don't I? Oh, maybe not. That was weird. Huh. I'm not sure what the... Yeah, I have to look into that some more, but that doesn't mean mirror is still useful. It's just a bit... Oops. Yeah. You know what? Okay. Well, for whatever reason, they did that. So. Yeah. Honestly, this is fine if you just want to duplicate the manual way. It's up to you. But what you do want to make sure of prior to setting this in place is, or after setting this place is, so this will look a bit oddly lined up, which, so I'd make sure that your faces are at least close to the leg like that. The same thing here. It's hard for you to see. You can go wireframe mode. Same thing with this guy. Just okay. Well, I think that's good for this. I'll delete the history. So prior to this end, make sure you want to delete your history. You want to do modify freeze transforms, and then you want to put these in a group in your outliner. So this is what I'm about to do. So Windows Outliner, because you have a few of these cubes, a few of these that aren't named. Well, none of these are named. So, oops, don't duplicate it. Control G. Sorry about that. I will name this table group. Actually, for organization sakes, I recommend dragging these up, because when you group it, the order might get reversed. And then, yeah, I know these names are a bit, let's see, I want to make sure everything is here before I proceed. Oh, because these are, I get it. Well, that's fine. You won't be texturing this, so if it's, I see. Maybe, can I separate these? Mesh separate. Okay, so if that happens, you can separate these. So you're going to have a group within your group. I just delete, well, if I delete the transform. You know what, honestly, that's fine. Yeah. Because, like I said, this won't be textured anyways. If you don't mirror it, well, if you do, you'll likely end up with two shapes as part of one geometry. But, yeah, I'm not, you know, I understand if that happens. I mean, it's not, I can't fault you for that, because I didn't realize that Maya would do that. So, anyway. tabletop, and I would name them like something like this: tabletop or desktop. This should be desk. What am I? Okay. Means I'll have to rename the group, but desktop geo. Desk group. Yeah, same thing happened here when these were mirrored, is that they got. But honestly, I mean, these won't be textured, so you don't have to worry about that. Just make sure when your z-axis is facing you when you're getting everything organized. This will be desk front piece. I'm going to move these like that. And this will be and for when you're dealing with left and right, think of it as left side, since this is facing the z-axis. Think of it as this is the left, as in your left hand. So and then this is right. I think I misspelled that, but I'll fix it in a moment. And that's that. You don't have to combine these. I wouldn't worry about that if I were you. But yeah, as I said, make sure that prior to turning this in, your history is deleted and you have everything grouped and named in your group. And let me know if you need any support, and I'll be able to assist you.